So, more projects approaching completion now here at the Turnarcades workshop. We've got a lot being finished up, but I just thought I'd do a video of this one, which is Michael Adlam's Slimline Mini. Now, we haven't done one of these in a while. People tend to favour the bar tops over these, but people do tend to ask, what would be the point in them buying one for like an adult? Well, the thing is, even though the dimensions are very similar to, say, the upper section of a bar top, if you look at it, you have actually got the extra space available at the bottom, which enables us to fit things like the dual core PC and of course the 2.1 sound system. So if you're after a bar top and you've got limited space, having one of these is no different to having a slimline bar top and then placing it on a TV TV dinner table or something like that. Except the difference is having its own base makes it very convenient. It makes it look like a proper arcade machine, and of course it allows you to have the more powerful PC, a little bit more elbow room, and a decent 2.1 sound system in there. So people asking how it plays, so I wanted to answer a few questions in this video. As you can see there, that's an ordinary office chair there sat next to it. The idea of these is, if you're not buying them for kids and you want one as an adult, if you sit in any normal chair, the way the control panel is, the height it's at, and the height of the underside of the control panel, means that if you sit in a normal chair, as I'm about to do, it pretty much means that you're at the perfect height to play. Now that's directly in front of my face. I've got the speakers at head height, just as you would have in the larger machines. I've got the monitor right there in my face. Now this is the 19-inch 4:3 aspect monitor, and as you can see, it absolutely fills that space. And when you're sat this close to it, you can appreciate that you don't need to go any bigger than that. So, and looking down here, there's the control panel in front of me, and just make out there's my knees, and if I want to pull right up to it, my knees tuck just nicely underneath the control panel there. So, just going to show a couple of things I haven't shown on any other videos. Our dual core spec will now emulate up to and including some of the GameCube and Wii titles, and one of the ones I've added on here just to show you that it can do Wii is New Super Mario Brothers. Now, it does struggle with some GameCube titles, such as Resident Evil 4, some of the later ones that took real advantage of the hardware. But then again, there's certain games that won't play well with digital controls anyway. Especially with the Wii, there are very, very few. Actually thinking about the ones that would work well, there's only a handful, and I'm really struggling to find titles that will play well. But New Super Mario Bros. Wii is certainly one of them. So I'm going to give this a quick test to show you that this is working perfectly. See the familiar Wii boot section there, and just start up a game. Press the right buttons. There we go. And you can indeed see New Super Mario Bros. Wii running. Now, the way we've set up the controls is some of the analog functions that you need for this game, such as tilting or shaking, can now be done with a simple button press. You don't need any kind of major control to play this and have fun. So just assigning a digital button to it works perfectly well. And for most of the controls, a digital joystick and buttons works perfectly. So for example, with the control panel here, we've got up, down, left, right on the D-pad, buttons 1, button 2. I think then we've got minus and plus, B and A, something like that anyway. I haven't had a chance to check it, and it is a fairly new addition. And then if you press the start button, it will actually be like spinning. So, just start up a game. Oops. Got a save file on there already. Skip the bump. There we go. And there it is, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. running just fine on our arcade systems. For anybody who's been doubting the power of these dual core systems, you can see there's no issue at all running games like this. There you go, running just fine. So that's that. For the sake of Sam, who is Michael's son, who this machine is intended for, I just wanted to show a couple of fighting games running, just to show that it's all running just nice. Let's boot up Street Fighter 4. Like I say, a lot of people asking for the dual core system now for games like this and the more advanced arcade and console platforms. Slimline bar top is just too small to put the dual core system in safely, but the Slimline Mini is the next best option, and as you can see, you can have the really powerful games in this system. And obviously not many people these days run 4 to 3 aspect monitors for such new games as this. Obviously this is the PC version, and this allows you to change the resolutions, and the way it does it, rather than letterboxing it, if you have it in a 4 to 3 aspect, is it reduces the aspect ratio of the fight zone, as it would have done on the old Street Fighter 2 games, but the backgrounds and everything extend upwards. So it does fill the screen. There you go. The graphic quality is now less. This is running in 1024 by 768. And it's running just sweet. All the particle effects are there. Plays brilliantly with 2 players on here. So that's Super Street Fighter 4. Come out of that. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you with this machine was we've also added Taito Type X to our lineup some time ago, but a lot of people are having these systems now, and because we haven't tied it properly into the front end, if you attempt to launch it from the front end, it will crash and you won't be able to play the game properly. So playing it from here at the moment isn't a possibility, but we will put a fix in for that very soon. But if you return to Windows through the method I'm showing you, which is the method described in the instructions when you get your machine. Now, I've already returned to the Windows desktop once, but what you'd need to do is you'd have the desktop but no regular, taskbar at the bottom. Press Control Alt and Delete. Go to Task Manager, select New Task, type in Explorer, and then when you press Enter, it'll return you to the proper Windows desktop like this. And all I've done is I've relaunched it from the front end icon just there. But if you wanted to play the Taito Type X games, for now, you can actually safely launch them from the desktop. So if you do just as I've described, obviously with a keyboard and a mouse plugged in, you can actually go to the ROM folder, and then you can select the game you want to play. So we'll give King of Fighters 13 a quick whirl just to show you it's running nice on these systems. And this is King of Fighters 13 now, just loading up. See now, adding credits in, and it's working perfectly fine when launched from Windows desktop. These games run an absolute treat. The Taito Type X hardware was based on Pentium 4 PC systems, so running on our dual core spec is absolutely no problem at all. Let's quickly start up a game. I say all you fighting game fans should love the fact that you've got these accessible, and control is perfectly fluid, animation's fluid. Trying to play this with one hand isn't easy, of course, but working just fine, as you can see anyway. So that is Taito Type X running on our dual core systems. Finally, for the first time, being able to show you it in an arcade running with the controls. So that is Michael Adlam's Slimline Mini, or more appropriately it's his son Sam's Slimline Mini arcade machine. A perfect machine for the lad, and I hope he enjoys it very much.